In this demo, we will see how to assign user ID to structural profiles directly using the transaction OOSB. After we assign the transaction code, assign the structural profile to the user ID, we will log in with that user and check whether the user has access to the employees or the data of the employees under his span of control, and also if the manager can, if the user can see data of employees under some other manager's span of control. So the data that we are going to use is for Dennis Sutton. So we will, in this demo, we will use Dennis Sutton as the manager who has these partners or these persons under his span of control. So we'll assign the structural profile ZHR manager that we created to Dennis Sutton and check whether he has access to the employee data who are linked with these partners, and also we'll check whether Dennis Sutton has access to employee data for these partners 70060 and 70082. These are the employees who are on the span of control of Raymond Chan, who is another manager. Now to assign, but before we do that, there are a couple of things we need to check. The first check we'll need to make is that Dennis Sutton has a employee user ID linked to his partner 70053, and because that is the user ID we are going to log in with. We also check what access that user ID has, and then we'll ensure that the structure profile contains this org unit as the starting node. So we'll make 3 checks now. So the first check is to ensure that this user ID, Dennis Sutton's user ID, is linked with this his partner. So let's go and do that. Transaction code to check that would be PA20 and 70053. And the info type that links the partner with the user ID is 105 and subtype 0001. So this is a user ID that is linked with Dennis Sutton. So this is Dennis Sutton's user ID. So let's go and check what kind of access Dennis Sutton has. We have given SAP all to Dennis Sutton. So technically speaking, we would assume that Dennis Sutton should see everything in SAP system. But that is not true when structural authorizations are implemented, and we'll see how. So we checked whether the partner is linked with the Dennis Sutton's user ID. It was. We checked the Dennis Sutton's access, which he has SAP all. The last check that we will make before we proceed further is to ensure that Dennis Sutton, the structure profile starts with this node. We've got Dennis Sutton's node. So let's go to transaction OSP for structure profile. Select the structure profile that we are going to use and double click on it and ensure that 2488 is entered here. So let's go and enter 2488. We will come back with another another object ID here for Dennis Sutton and see if it's how it works. So let's go and save it. Now let us go and execute the transaction code OSB to assign the structure profile ZHR manager to Dennis Sutton. So execute the transaction OSB and click on new entries. So test HR manager and Z HR manager is the structure profile. Let's give a start date. You can give the current date, that whatever you want, and I'm just giving a date in future and save it. Now this is the table T77UA. So this table contains the link between the structure profile and the user IDs. So if you click on this eye icon, depending on how the structure profile is defined and the evaluation path that is associated with the structure profile, you will get the list of objects for that org unit. So these are the user IDs, these are the persons who are under the span of control for Dennis Sutton. So this is Dennis Sutton's partner, and this is the org unit for Dennis Sutton, who Dennis Sutton manages this org unit. Let's go and check this out. So let's go and execute. And let's take this. Click on staff assignments. And let's expand Dennis Sutton's node 2488. And if you look at the partners, 5381, 102, 54. So you'll find those partners in this list. Now you don't see the positions because as we saw in one of the earlier demos, in our evaluation path, we had checked that skip checkbox for positions. That's why the positions are not getting displayed here. So once you have assigned once you have linked the user ID with the structure profile in OOSB, the structure authorizations will now be active for that user ID. So in our case, test HR user. Now, these are the user IDs which are under span of control for Dennis Sutton. And these are the user ID users. These are the partners which are the part of Raymond Chan's span of control. Now let us log in with test HR user as Dennis Sutton and see whether Dennis Sutton has access to these partners and this partner. And remember that Dennis Sutton has SAP all. So let's check that out. So let us log in with test HR user, which is the user ID for Dennis Sutton. So we logged in with test HR user, and this is the data we are talking about for Dennis Sutton. So Dennis Sutton has these partners under his span of control, and these two partners are part of Raymond Chan's span of control. So let us go and execute the transaction code PA20. And let us enter 70081. And hit the enter key. So 70081 belongs to Mrs. Sharon Russell, and this user is reporting to Dennis Sutton. So Dennis Sutton is a manager. That is why you have an icon with a hat icon here, which means he's a chief for this org unit. This org unit. And Sharon Russell is part of that org unit. So let's take another partner, 102. So even 102 should be accessible by Dennis Sutton. Jerry Harris. Jerry Harris is also part of Dennis Sutton's span of control. Let us check if 70060 Ms. Joyce Berry, who is part of Raymond Chan, is accessible by Dennis Sutton because Dennis Sutton has SAP all. So 70060, who is part of Raymond Chan, with the hit the enter key, and the user Raymond Dennis Sutton does not have access to the employee data of Joyce Berry, because Joyce Berry is part of Raymond Chan's span of control. So as you see here, okay, let's give another example. 82. Let's take 70082, who is also part of Raymond Chan's span of control, and Dennis Sutton doesn't have access to Bernard 7082. Now this is despite the fact that Dennis Sutton has SAP all. So as you see, structure authorization, the structure profile, is preventing Dennis Sutton from viewing the employee data of employees who are not part of his span of control. And why is that happening? That is happening because the starting node in the transaction OOSP is specified as 12488, which is the org unit managed by Dennis Sutton, and Raymond Chan manages 12489, and Joyce Berry is part of that org unit 12489. So that is why Dennis Sutton is not able to see data belonging to employees who are not part of his span of control. Now the problem with this kind of mechanism is that for every manager, so if you want to give access to Raymond Chan now to her span of control, then you would have to make another entry here. It says ZHR manager 2001 O, and then 12489 Z manager, etc. So for every manager, you'll have to maintain an entry here, which could be a maintenance nightmare for you as a security administrator. So assigning the object IDs manually or specifically in structural profile, it should not be your preferred way of implementing structural authorizations. The preferred way should be that you capture the starting node or the starting org unit of the manager dynamically at runtime by making use of a function module. Now let's go and change and give some other function, other starting object now. Now this profile is again still assigned to Dennis Sutton. So let us go and check if Dennis Sutton is able to view his employees under his span of control now. So let's go and execute PA20, and let us enter 70081. Hit the enter key, and Dennis Sutton is not able to see data belonging to his span of control. So we had given 2492. So 2492 was, let's check what that was. Mrs. Carol Chaplesky. Now let's enter 70120 and see if Dennis Sutton has access to that. Dennis Sutton has access to employees who are reporting to Mrs. Carol Chapelsky. Now this is happening because in the structural profile we have specified 50021-12492, which is the start organization managed by Mrs. Carol Chapelsky in the structure profile, and this is the starting node. And this profile is assigned to Dennis Sutton. So that is why Dennis Sutton is able to view data or employees from this org unit. So there's another problem. So this brings up another problem. So if you use this manual assignment specifying the object IDs manually, and that is once you start entering the org units here, so whoever is assigned this structure profile, all of them will see the data coming out of the objects or org units that are listed in this table for the same structure profile. So which means now, like you saw, even though this user 70120 reports to Carol, Dennis is able to see the employee data for this employee, which is not correct. So when we use the employee, this manual mechanism for assigning the org units to the structure profile in OSP, you are basically opening up or giving access to managers to the employees who are not reporting to them also. So that could be a potential problem for you as a security risk. So that is another reason why you should not be using this mechanism of assigning org unit IDs specifically in the structure profile. You should be using the function module. So you can use the transaction OSB to assign the structure profile to the user manually, directly. And when you click on I, it will list you the org units or the objects and the values that are part of the structure profile for that particular user. And again, remember, in this case, we are not able to see the positions because in the evaluation path, we had skipped displaying of position IDs. That's why it's not showing up here. Now, this icon could also be used for troubleshooting purposes. Let's say if a user manager comes back and says that he's not able to see a particular user under his span of control, you can use this icon to see whether that is true or not. And from there, from that point on, you can look at other options if there is still any problem. So this is the mechanism using the transaction OSB to assign structured profiles to users.